Hello. Welcome to the Success and Connection podcast. I'm here with Jesse. He's a real estate investor and coach. So let's figure out what he has to say.
Iva, it's awesome to be here. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure and a privilege.
Thank you, Jesse. And for you, what is the definition of success and connection?
Oh my gosh. I should have prepped a little bit better for this interview. The definition of success, probably being able to live life on your terms and not where money or circumstances or the media says you have to.
Okay.
That's different for everybody.
It is. What about connection?
Yeah. What about connection?
Yeah.
What does connection mean to me?
Yeah. Because it's together, right? Success and connection, that's...
It is. Yeah. Man, what an interesting question. Connection and success, I think, go hand in hand. I got a text from a young lady this morning. She's like, "Hey, Jesse, you got some time to meet?" I said, "Yeah." And so we sat down for what I thought was going to be a 15-minute conversation. Ended up sitting in Starbucks across the street for 3 hours.
Wow.
And she's telling me about her story and her experiences and the way that she wants to serve and impact people from the things that she's learned and the things that she's wanting to do. And I had to sit there and let her know how much I appreciated that, because she asked, "Well, what can I do for you? What are you looking to achieve, or where can I be of service?" And I said, "You know what? I don't think you know how much I appreciated this conversation." When you start talking about things like money and you're on social media, there's just a lot of distraction. There's a lot of gurus. There's a lot of fakeness that happens. And you're seeing it even more so with AI now. And the thing that's going to stand out, the thing that's going to stand the test of time, I think, is authenticity.
Absolutely.
And to me, that's what I'm looking for in connections. And when you find those people that are authentically them and growing to step into the person that they know they can become, when you align with those people, I think is when you create that life and that success that is that everybody's chasing for them. So I think it's a great question. Very deep.
I love it. I love it so much. Thank you. And I'm curious. I'm going to tell later the conversation with that lady because I'm curious.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are here in Owners Club, Monterey, California, for a week of connection with amazing people. What did it take so far out of this meeting with these people?
A couple things that was said yesterday that I wrote down that really resonated with me. And I'll give you some context to it real quick. I am a huge fan of music. I love anything and everything 80s, from Madonna to Metallica. That's me. Anything like post-1994, you've lost me. And one of my favorite bands is Kiss. You like Kiss? Do you listen to that kind of music?
Of course.
Oh, yeah, naturally, right?
I love it.
Yeah, of course. So I remember when I was young reading an interview from Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons. For those of you guys that don't know, they're the founders and leaders of Kiss. And when they formed in the 70s, I mean, there was nobody out there that was like them. With the makeup and the costumes, the platform boots, the blood, the flames, the fire, the theatrics of it all, it didn't exist. Yeah. And they said in this interview, they said, "Guys, where did you come up with this idea?" And they both looked at each other and then turned to the interviewer and said, "You know, we just created what we would have wanted to have experienced as fans of music ourselves. What would we have wanted to see being in the stands?" And that's where they came up with the idea of Kiss. And I thought that was so profound. I read this in my teens, and it created such a huge impact on me because, especially as an entrepreneur, talking about relationships, I tried to be the kind of relationship to other people that I would have wanted at any point in my life, whether it's somebody to just be an ear for 3 hours and have somebody listen to me, whether it's somebody giving me tactical or strategic support as a coach. And one of the things that was said yesterday that really resonated with me was something along the lines of, we couldn't find the room we needed, so we created it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it just made me think to that interview that I read so long ago with Kiss. And it's something that I almost my life's mantra. So I really appreciated that.
Perfect. So you're such a storyteller. So you're a coach. Are you an author as well?
I'm in the middle of writing a book right now, actually. Yeah.
Okay. What is it about?
So the title of the book is Money is a 4-letter Word. Growing up, I grew up in a Christian household. And I'll never forget it until the day I die. It'll be burned into my brain. My mom always used to tell me there are no 4-letter words allowed in my house. Now, of course, she's talking about cuss words.
Okay.
You cannot cuss. Most cuss words are 4-letter words. So she's like, but that's the way she always phrased it. So I'll never forget it. Mm-hmm. And when I turned 29, I'll be 35 next month. When I turned 29, that's when I joined Sub 2. And naturally, you can't talk about growing a portfolio without also talking about growing your wealth.
Yep. And
it was a very awkward time for me because growing up, the word money, M-O-N-E-Y, might as well have been a 4-letter word in my household. It was something we didn't talk about. You didn't say it. You didn't ask somebody how much money they were making. You didn't ask how to go make more money. You just worked hard. If you wanted to make more money, then you would just go to college. You get a degree. You work 40 to 50 hours a week for 40 to 50 years, and then you retire, and that's it.
Wow.
And so it was a completely different way of thinking about not only money, but debt and success. I was always taught if you had more money, you're a greedy a-hole. You can't be a good person and have money. I was always told to think about success differently. And if I wanted more, that I was greedy. And am I not just grateful for what I have? I'm not grateful to have food in my belly and a roof over my head. Is that not enough? And so anyway, it took a friend who reached out to me about 20 years later, a childhood friend. We hadn't talked since I was probably 15 years old. Well, I guess it would have been a little earlier than that. Anyway, we're doing the whole catching up on Facebook. Like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Where you living at? How many kids you got? I live in Alaska. I live in a small igloo up in Alaska now. The wife and 4 kids, 2 Yorkies, 3 moose, the whole shebang.
Yep.
And he says, hey, have you ever thought about getting into real estate? And I was like, well, I thought about getting my license a few years ago when I was stationed in Phoenix. And he's like, no, I'm not talking about being an agent. I'm talking about being an investor. I gave him this big, long eye roll. And I was like, dude, I'm in the military, bro. You can go Google what I get paid. I don't have 6 figures just burning a hole in my pocket, so I can go buy an igloo in Anchorage, Alaska. And he's like, how about you jump into a Zoom I have later in the week and just be a fly on the wall? And I said, okay. So I jump in that Zoom, and that's where I start hearing about people talking about leveraging other people's money, debt, and credit to create wealth and to create impact and to just serve on a much higher level. So anyway, that's where that seed was created for me. And I've learned throughout the last 5 years that the money that you want to make is directly correlated to the caliber of skills that you bring to the marketplace. So I was able to take the skills that I had built from a seed that he planted out of a random conversation, and I built and done some really amazing and wonderful things. And I'm really excited about the things I get to continue doing and the path I'm on for my Mount Everest. So what my book is about is that's my experience. And when I look around and I see so many people that are settling for less because they think that that's just what's supposed to happen. I'm supposed to work for the rest of my life. I'm not special. I don't have any gifts. I don't have any skill sets. And so my book is not for the 1% who want to read it. It's for the 99% who need that seed planted.
Yeah. So in everything that happens in our childhood, we take so long to unwire the thing, right? Mm-hmm. And based on what you're saying, probably somebody gonna go further by reading your book because it's gonna make more sense for them to go and look for their journey, what is now and not was the past.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sometimes it just takes a friend or somebody to say something a certain way for you to be like, just ask the question to yourself, what if? Because I was planning on doing 30 years in the military until my friend planted that seed, and it made me think to myself, what if? What if I could actually do this? What if I could actually get out of the military and do something that I've always felt like I could do, just never knew how or where or what? Or I think there's a lot of people that feel like that. They just don't know what to do with that feeling. So that's who that book is for.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can't wait to read.
Oh, thank you.
So 2 things. 1, real estate. 2, coach.
Yeah.
So which one lead to the other? Because must have a connection there.
For sure. Good question. That conversation with my friends is what planted the seed. So it started with real estate.
Okay.
So as I started gaining skills, my mom always used to call me a social butterfly. So I found the path of least resistance to making money is to understand what your gift is. And when you understand what your gift is, if you like talking to people like I do, then the only question after that is, well, how do I monetize that gift now? So there's a handful of different ways to monetize a gift like that. And for me, being in real estate, I thought, well, of all the things I could do in real estate, I could start being a closer.
Yeah.
I could start learning how to close deals. I mean, I love talking to people. I love building rapport and building relationships with people. Now what I need is a skill set to build on the foundation that I already have. So I started reading books and educating myself, paying for programs around how to learn how to sell, learn how to communicate and position, learn how to tell stories, learn how to negotiate. You know, contrary to popular belief, my entire life I thought negotiation was going on to a car dealership and saying, I want $5,000 off this car or I'm walking. Yeah. And that's not negotiating. Nah. And so I had to start learning these skills that built on a foundation of what I already had. And as I started kind of seeing my success go up, I saw other people that were kind of struggling with trying to figure out how what are they doing wrong? And what could they be doing better? How could they streamline their business? What was I doing that they weren't doing? And one of the things I didn't tell you is in the military, I did a couple different really cool things. One of those things being a quality assurance inspector. So in short, it was my job to go and audit the systems and processes on $150 million stealth aircraft. So it's not like dropping your car off in a garage and them just working on it. Everything is meticulous. Everything is step by step by step by step by step. I remember even when I went to basic training, they didn't just tell you to go shower and then get dressed. They put everybody in the shower. They said, everybody take a bar of soap, put it in your left hand, raise your right hand in the air, put your hand across your chest and underneath your right armpit with your bar of soap, lather in a clockwise motion until you see soap and then rinse it. I mean, they tell you step by step. Really? So they don't just tell you how to do something where you get it right. They show you how to do something to where you can't get it wrong.
Gotcha.
And so I was raised, I did 15 years in the military. And so I started to learn that the way that I had just done things for 15 years became automatic, where it wasn't automatic for a lot of people. And so I was a quality insurance inspector, had a lot of experience auditing things, obviously. And then I was also an instructor. So they taught me how to be a professional speaker, mentor, coach. I did a lot of curriculum development, a lot of leadership development. And so I was able to combine a lot of the experiences that I had as a real estate investor. And I thought, man, I could start putting lesson plans together and helping other people break down these concepts into bite-sized pieces, and then while attacking the mindset side of it as well. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is something I'm really good at. So I went and created another room that hadn't existed that I would have needed. So real estate first and then coach.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Inspirational. And doing what you love and doing what you're good at, right? That's where you are. So like I said, storyteller, talented speaker, right? Mm-hmm. And successful real estate investor. How successful are you today?
I don't know. They asked Marcus asked us yesterday during the event. He said, everybody put a mountain on your paper.
Yep.
And then place an X on mark where you think you are on that mountain.
Yep.
I put myself kind of at the bottom.
Really?
But let me tell you, my Mount Everest.
Tell me.
Is to help 1.74 million people.
Oh my gosh.
Make $700,000 a year or more. Now that $700,000, that's kind of that benchmark between not and getting it like the 1% of income earners, I guess is the best way to word that. So when he told us to do that, obviously I'm like, oh my gosh, that was the first thing I thought of. So I'm like, I'm way down here on the bottom. But I know if you're stacking the right skills and with a long enough time horizon, some truly remarkable and amazing things can happen. So yeah, I think I'm all the way down here. But
I don't believe because you already have the skill set to do what you set to do.
Well, thank you.
So yeah, I think you, I say underestimate your talent that you already built through the years. Because if you didn't feel ready, you wouldn't set that Mount Everest ever. So, but the number 1.7 million is a lot of people.
Yeah.
How do you plan to do that?
That's such a great question. All I know is when Grant Cardone, I'm using him as an example because he's like the famous 10X guy, right? Yep. 10X everything. 10X. I remember working when I first started in real estate. I remember I'm in the Air Force, working full time. I was finishing up my college degree at the time. My wife was working nights. So as soon as I got home, we're kind of slapping hands and she's going to work as I'm getting home. I got to clean the house and I got to make a dinner. I've got to feed the kids, get everybody bathed, get everybody put to bed, finish my college degree. And now I'll figure out a time. When am I going to call all these leads to start this real estate business? And then I got Grant Cardone in my ear saying 10X, man, you got to go build, you got to go buy a $500 million apartment complex.
Yeah.
I'm like, Uncle G, I'm already working 19 hours a day, baby. I ain't got time to 10X. I'm just trying to replace my income here. And little did I know through self-development, reading a lot of books, educating myself a little bit more, when people hear, at least, when I used to hear 10X, I used to think it was working harder and longer. And I'm like, dude, I'm already at 19 hours a day, bro. I don't got time for harder and longer.
Yeah.
And what I didn't realize is that when people talk about 10X, they're talking about doing less to gain more. So the difference between growing and scaling, growing is doing more to get more, scaling is doing less to get more.
Yeah.
So that's going to require a completely different skill set. To start building a team and having a business that can run and make decisions without you requires a different skill set of you. It requires you to communicate differently. It requires you to track things differently, put systems and hire people who can put systems and processes in place.
Yeah. What is your, what do you use in your real estate? What's your model?
So I've done a couple different things. I've done wholesaling, bought about 80 doors in pad split. And right now, one of my partners, Bill Fisher and I, and Kimberly, his wife, we're getting into the senior co-living. So we're helping out 55 plus women find affordable housing.
That's fantastic. So when I ask at the beginning how successful you are, just think about when your friend told you, did you ever think about real estate? And your employee, right? You're struggling to pay your bills.
Yeah.
So that's the definition of success. You decide to take action, and today you have your portfolio, and you see the horizon in front of you, how to help more and more people.
Absolutely.
Because that's where everything starts when you want to help others, right?
Absolutely.
I love that. So, okay, so if somebody wants to talk to you about coaching, how they find you?
I'm on all the social media platforms. It's probably harder to not find me. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, OnlyFans. I'm just kidding. I don't have an OnlyFans account. This is a joke, guys. Anywhere. Yeah.
Okay. So, any last thing to say to your audience right now?
The world isn't as it is. The world is as you are. And another way to think about that is your frequency is what you frequently see. With the circumstances that I've personally experienced and the limiting beliefs that I've had about myself, what I thought I was capable of doing, especially living in Alaska. There's nobody who lives in Alaska. Who the hell lives in Alaska? There's nobody doing up there what I want to be doing. So in terms of resources, in terms of support, people, accountability, I can't tell you how many times I sat down and told myself, why am I doing this? Why did you think you could do this? You don't even know anybody that's doing this. And the people, I can't hammer down enough how important it is to be around the right people. because they will influence your thinking. They will influence your frequency. And if you are around the wrong people, then you will not do the things that you want to do. So your frequency is what you frequently see. If you vibrate on a higher frequency, if you intentionally put abundant thoughts into your head, you will start to see opportunity all around you. Bill, can I share something real quick?
Absolutely.
About, I guess, a couple years now, my wife and 2 kids and I were in a car wreck. Somebody ran a stop sign and totaled our Durango. And I've got to start looking for a new car. I hadn't had to buy a new car in quite a while up to that point. And so I'm kind of looking like, all right, what kind of new car do we want? Do I want a van? Am I a van guy now? Do I got to be seen as a van guy? Is that my new thing? Or am I getting a Suburban? Do I got to get something where I feel like it's so big I got to have a CDL to take my kids to dinner or the movies or something? And as I'm looking for cars, I came across something called a Chevy Traverse. You ever heard of Chevy Traverse? Nope. You know what a Dodge Durango is, though? Yeah. So it's a midsize SUV, 3 rows. Mm-hmm. So basically that's Chevy's version of a Dodge Durango. Just a midsize SUV, 3 rows. I've never heard of it before. And I started doing a bunch of research on it, started looking at the ratings, started going to YouTube and watching people drive it. I'm 6'2", so I want to make sure that I'm getting a review from somebody who's taller and they can, tell me how much room they have. And the interesting thing happened is after about a week and a half, 2 weeks of just obsessing about finding out what a Chevy Traverse was and learning anything and everything about it, I go to drop my kids off at school, and what do you think I see in the parking lot?
Yep.
A Chevy freaking Traverse. I'm on my way to the gym. Guess what's parked at the gym? Chevy Traverses.
Right.
On my way to Walmart because my wife's sending me to go get milk. And there's Chevy Traverses all over the freaking road. Now, is it that those Chevy Traverses weren't there before?
No.
Or was my eyes just open to them?
Exactly.
So one of the things that I found is that whether you want to make 10 grand a month or 100 grand a month, somebody who's done this, it takes just as much time, energy, and effort to make 100 grand a month as it does make 10 grand a month. But you have to be open to seeing those opportunities. And just like those Chevy Traverses were all around me, metaphorically, what I'm trying to communicate here is those Chevy Traverses were $100,000 a month opportunities.
Yep.
But I wasn't seeing them even though they were right in front of me. And those same opportunities are right in front of anybody at any given point. So the world isn't as it is. The world is as you are.
The moment you open your mind.
Absolutely.
To learn and level up, the opportunity will come. Absolutely. So, Jesse, thank you so much. Your inspiration. I love to have you here, and thank you for your service.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Pleasure. Thank you so much for one more episode of Success and Connection. I'll see you next time.